thing probably is losing things. Things have a tendency to float away. They don't stay in place. You can't put your iPad down on a table, for example, so you have to always make sure you know where things are, otherwise they'll float away and you'll have a hard time finding them again. Over. Well, I launched with my crewmates on August 26th, so that's almost 3 months ago now, which also means that we're about halfway through our 6-month-long mission, and if everything goes according to plan, we'll be back on Earth at the end of February. Over. Well, one thing we don't have up here is a kitchen, so we can't make fresh food. So all the food we eat is prepared on Earth and packaged for us so that it's ready to eat. And either it comes in pouches that we can heat in a little oven, or it's dehydrated and it comes in little bags that we can fill with water, sort of like camping food. Over. That's a good question. We perform many different types of experiments. It can be experiments in physics, chemistry, biology, human physiology, even earth science. I'm doing one experiment where I take pictures of giant lightning strikes out of our window. These are lightning strikes that shoot upwards out towards space. And then we have lots of experiments where we're the subjects ourselves. So we take blood samples, we take saliva samples, urine samples to see what effects spaceflight have on our human bodies. Over. I don't know if it was the strangest thing, but one of the coolest things I've seen happened about a month ago. I was looking out of the window and I saw a shooting star from above. So I saw a meteorite fly past below the space station and re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, so it lit up just like a shooting star. That was pretty cool to see. Well, that is a risk when you go on a spacewalk, and that's why we're always attached to the space station with a tether. We have a long safety tether that keeps us attached. But in case that should break or somehow become detached from the space station, we also have, for emergency, a small jetpack that we can activate. It's not a big jetpack, so we can't really fly around outside the space station, but it's hopefully just enough to get us back to the space station if we float away. Over. Now that's a good question, and I should probably know the answer, but I don't. What I can tell you, though, is that all of our power comes from our giant solar arrays, which collect sunlight and convert that sunlight into electricity. So everything we use in terms of power, electricity, comes from sunlight. Something interesting, those solar panels are now 15, 20 years old, and so we're in the process of upgrading them with newer technology, which means that we're getting new solar panels put up outside so that we get even more power in the future. Over. Unfortunately, I haven't done a spacewalk yet. I was supposed to do one about a month and a half ago, but it got canceled 24 hours before we were heading out of the hatch. I'm hoping to do one later on my mission, maybe in January or February. Over. Yes, space is becoming more and more crowded with satellites, and so luckily we have radar systems on ground that monitor the space around us, and if anything is on a collision course with us, then we can change the orbit of the space station by raising it slightly in order to avoid the space junk. But yes, it does happen regularly that we have to change our orbit in order to avoid space junk. Over. Well, when we get cargo vehicles up here. After we've unloaded all of the cargo, we fill them with trash, and then we send them back through the Earth's atmosphere. And some of the cargo vehicles don't have a heat shield, which means that they burn up in the Earth's atmosphere together with all of our trash. Over. Exercise is incredibly important in space. Because we're weightless, we don't use our muscles, we don't use our bones, and so to maintain our fitness and to maintain our bodies, we have to exercise for 2 hours every single day, and we have a stationary bicycle, we have a treadmill, and we have a weight exercise machine to do that. Over. I don't think that there is an actual limit, but typically, you know, you have to be finished with university, you have to have a few years of job experience before you can apply to be an astronaut, and then it takes usually 3 or 4 years of training before you're ready for your first spaceflight. So typically most astronauts are in their early or mid-30s when they go on their first mission to space. Over. We can watch videos and we can watch movies, TV series. Typically, to make sure that there's no time delay, they send them up to us, and then we can watch them up here. Over. It was my absolute pleasure, and thank you for all of the excellent questions you had today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
ISS, this is Yankee Oscar 3, do you copy?
Ciao, and have a good weekend.
Houston, the Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground.
Satellite, Oscar, LT7, Charlie Lima, satellite. Excellent, many thanks. Bye-bye, ciao.